the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, with trust in God, we will lift our homeland high. We believe in togetherness, we'll build a land of progress. Lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, lift the spirit of Anambra, states we love.
Let's go. All right. Watch your back.
Sir Patrick Chidolwe Nabuenya Nota Apopodica Guleris in our midst.
So it is indeed a great honor that I welcome you to the commissioning of this Coscharis Ultramodern rice processing mill in Obiano. First of all, on behalf of the board and the management of Coscharis Farm Limited, I would like to sincerely thank the Almighty God, without whom it would not have been possible for us to be here today. The second thanks will go to His Excellency Governor Anambra Obiano, who made all of this possible. God used people to make things happen. I'll be very honest to say, if you don't like it, but I'll tell you the truth, without the support we got from His Excellency, today will not have been a reality. Why are you not clapping? You should clap. Are you embarrassed? If you want to know the truth, I will make it more clear to you. The truth is that before Willie became a governor, we were already having a traditional wedding in Lagos. Is that correct? Is that correct? Okay, there's no investment that will thrive without security. So you need to create the atmosphere of friendly atmosphere that investors will consider safe, because you want to make money, but the money you are making is no more important than your life. So it is when Willie speak, you know the following day is going to do exactly what he's doing. He came and said, I give, what did he say he gave the criminals? He gave them an expiration order to run away from Anambra. And some of them tried to dare him and he dealt with them. After 2 months or so, kidnapping finished in Anambra, all the kind of things disappeared. So it's not about praising a man, but when you do something good, we should acknowledge it. So, Abakodike, thank you so very much. You attach great importance to this project from its commencement and also to the commissioning of it yourself. My thanks to the government and the people of Anambra State. I am humbled and honored by the number of dignitaries who have spared time out of many things that are competing for their attention to make themselves present here today. We appreciate every one of you and we thank you so much for joining us to share in this memorable occasion. I appreciate the presence of our investor partners, friends, customers, and well-wishers. Thank you for all your encouragement and support. Our journey to farming, agriculture as humanity's oldest industry has evolved from early days when everything was done manually, when animal was the only source of manpower, and from sowing seed by hand to the use of plough and other mechanized equipment. At Coscharis Farm Limited, we embrace challenge and convert our challenges to positive energy, because our vision is to be the best in everything we lay our hands upon. Thank His Excellency for all his support. Our rice mill, the plan to build a rice processing mill is motivated by our desire to fix a problem. We want to create more jobs and also want to build skill in our region. We want to process paddy harvested from our farm in Anago into the best quality rice. We want to contribute significantly to the government effort to ensure food sufficiency through local production of rice. In addition, we want to set the best for production of best quality local rice that will ensure, that will cause our people to change their preference from imported rice to local meal rice, which is known to be rich in, important nutrients. Basically, the kind of farm we are doing is something you can call organic rice farming. Most of this rice that you see imported abroad, some of them are 8 years or 9 years old. People don't know and we are consuming it. But we are getting the rice we already started harvesting. They are coming straight to this mill and we're processing them. So the food we are putting in the market is very fresh and healthy for human consumption. Today, we have commenced the journey to accomplish this goal. Coscharis processing rice mill in Obiano is 120,000 metric ultramodern rice mill, and this is the first phase of 40,000 metric capacity. That will be, the other will commence from next year, the processing mill has come to stay. In order to improve quality of life for the Anambra, as well as the economy of the state and Nigeria in general, the next phase of 80,000 metric ton will start before the end of next year. We are very smart people. We could have done one mill of 120,000 metric ton, but what happened if it breaks down? So we're going to have two mills together. If we are servicing one, the other one will be milling. So that once our job goes on, we will never find it. So this is like a learning curve. The big one is coming by the end of next year. And we will call you back to come and see it. That's why we occupy this big piece of property. I stand here to give glory to the Almighty God for seeing us through to the successful set of this rice mill and commissioning today, from mobilizing and to demobilizing of various contractors of this project. There was no recorded fatal or any major accident. We enjoy the cordiality of the community as well as the support of the Anambra State government officials and Anambra State in general.
Today is a very happy day for us in Anambra State with the commissioning of this ultra-modern rice mill, which immediately brings to fore His Excellency's continuous and clarion call for the Anambra to bring home their wealth at Ultramodern. Thanks to Coscharis who has heeded to this call. It is very gratifying also to note that the collaboration of Anambra State with investors is yielding results and dividends. His Excellency, thanks to your security in the state. This modular mill, which will ultimately produce 120 metric tons of 1,000 metric tons when fully in progress, will be fed from the 2,500 hectares of land in Anambra under rice cultivation. Coscharis farms will in due course develop outgrower schemes in all areas of Anambra that is rice producing. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today is again a very happy day for us in the Ministry of Agriculture, as this is a dream come true. We are very happy and grateful to His Excellency for his support in agriculture, which has made his #1 pillar in the state. Your Excellency, thank you so very much. Really is indeed working. The Anambra are proud of you. Thank you so much.
I am very delighted and consider it a privilege to be here visiting the Coscharis Farms Limited today. And to begin, let me highlight the fact that this project is of national reference to us at the Central Bank of Nigeria, in view of the fact that it was funded under our Commercial Agricultural Credit Scheme intervention. The fact that Coscharis Farms Limited is a reality today is an attestation to the fact that the objectives of the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari towards diversifying the Nigerian economy and creating jobs through focused intervention in critical areas such as agriculture is yielding results. I salute His Excellency Governor Willie Obiano, the Executive Governor of Anambra State, for creating the environment which enabled Coscharis Farms Limited to thrive and thereby making this project a reality today. Coscharis took time to explain what the governor and the government of Anambra State has done in making this environment a conducive one for him to be able to set up this plant. He is a son of the soil. Notwithstanding the fact that he is the son of the soil, he had challenges. And the governor came up and cleared the challenges with the community. After clearing challenges with the community, the issue of the security of the state also became an issue. And of course, today, everybody knows in Nigeria today, that Anambra, because of the policies that the governor himself put in place towards ridding the state of criminality and banditry and what do you call it again? All forms of banditry. That this state is one of the safest states in Nigeria today. Indeed, I hear Chief Coscharis say that it is the safest state in Nigeria today. And I would really implore other states in this country to adopt the measures that were put in place by Anambra State towards seeing to it that there's absolute security in this state. We must also commend the determination and doggedness of Chief Dr. Cosmas Maduka, the Group Managing Director of Coscharis Farms, to establish not only a rice processing mill, but also that the processing mill, which will process not only its paddy rice, but also those paddy produced by other people, by local smallholder farmers, under our Anambra scheme. Permit me to share with you some developments with respect to CBN's almost 5 years relationship with Coscharis Farms. Indeed, 2.5 years ago, after we gave Coscharis Farms the first set of funding, myself, the governor of Kebbi State, and the then Minister of Agriculture, Chief Adogbe, came to this farm. And we were very, very delighted about what we saw. Shortly after that, almost about a year or so after that, there was massive flooding in Anambra State. And Chief Maduka called me and said that his business has been affected by the flood. I felt very sorry, and we said we'll do everything possible to assist, at least from Central Bank of Nigeria, by restructuring the loan. I talk about doggedness and determination, and I think Chief Cosmas Maduka is a man that is dogged and determined. When he wants to achieve something, he goes for it. Left to some other investors, having been affected by the flood of just about a year ago, about this time last year, I can tell you he would abandon the project, he will leave the village and go back to Lagos, where I'm sure you all know it's rosy for him. Then we thank him again, I repeat, for his doggedness and determination for this project. In May 2015, the sum of 2 billion naira was released to this project through Zenith Bank for the cultivation of 2,500 hectares of land for paddy rice. The project also accessed the sum of 4 billion naira in December 2016 through Access Bank for the procurement of equipment, construction of silos, and cultivation of additional 3,500 hectares of land, including the irrigation. Recently, the processing mill having been well set, the sum of 1 billion naira was also released to the Coscharis Farms through Access Bank in August 2019 for the purchase of paddy under the paddy aggregation scheme of the CBN. Also in line with the fact that CBN's interventions are not only about lending to projects, but ensuring repayment as well, we want to note that Coscharis Farms Limited has so far made a repayment of over 800 million naira out of the 2 billion naira that was initially released to REIT in May 2015. And this is in spite of the flood that affected this project last year. Those are the kind of people that deserve the support of our banks because they have good character to take loans. And I said, this was notwithstanding the challenging flooding incidents suffered by the project that led to even Central Bank granting him an additional moratorium and tenure extension for the project twice. We thank Coscharis farms. The actualization of these milestones was necessitated by the establishment of the Commercial Agricultural Credit Scheme by the CBN, with the objective of providing long-term finance for the entire agricultural value chain at single-digit interest rate, as well as to fast-track Nigeria's agricultural development in order to ensure food security, job and wealth creation in our rural community. In order to move Nigeria's agriculture from commodities to products and developing markets using value chain approach, the CBN has appointed commodity champions within the institution in various agri-value chains, namely rice, cassava, oil palm, maize, tomato, cotton, textiles, fish, and dairy. These value chains are to be financed under our Anambra program, which was designed with the strategic objective of creating linkages between farmers and processors to ensure long-term sustainability of production, resuscitate local processing, and ultimately increase output of commodities in the country. To further create jobs and develop the real sector of the economy, the CBN recently introduced other interventions, such as the Agri-Business Small and Medium Enterprise Investment Scheme, with the objective of supporting the federal government's effort in promoting agriculture as a vehicle for sustainable economic development, employment generation, and financial inclusion. The Youth Entrepreneurship Development Program, which is aimed at harnessing the latent entrepreneurial spirit of the teeming youth by providing timely and affordable finance to implement their business ideas. Our presence here today is a demonstration of not only the central bank, the minister, and the president's preparedness to partner with the private sector to facilitate the development of Nigeria's agri sector. The management of Coscharis farms, with the active support of Zenith and Access banks, have done incredibly well by creating employment for hundreds of Nigerians through this project. Hopefully in years to come, some of these Nigerians employed by Coscharis will become employers of labor as well. It is our sincere hope that the management of this integrated rice processing plant will not only will not be compromised so as to ensure the sustainability of the project. Once again, I rejoice with His Excellency, the banker turned politician, the governor of Anambra State, Governor Obiano, the executive governor of Anambra State, and his good people, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, and the promoters of this laudable project. I thank you once again for listening.
Let me also join in congratulating my brother, the governor of Anambra State, the Chief Cosmas Maduka, his wife, and management of Coscharis Ultramodern rice processing mill, and indeed the people of Anambra for this great achievement. 2 years ago, the Central Bank Governor, former Minister of Agriculture, and I visited Anambra State, and we visited the farm together with the Executive Governor of Anambra State, my brother Willie Obiano. And we met Chief Cosmas Maduka on the farm. And both of them promised us that in a short while, not only will the farm be put to optimal production, but a mill will also be put to process the rice. Equally, we visited farmers at the Anambra River Basin Development Authority area, and the farmers, some of them are very frustrated because the seedling they were using do not give them the maximum yield that their effort is supported can support. And secondly, they were worried about optic. Today, what Coscharis Maduka and the partnership with my brother, the governor of Anambra State, has provided has solved both problems for thousands of farmers, or probably millions of farmers, because not only will they have uptake for their produce, they will also have better seedlings that will double their yield. And the surest poverty eradication is to support farmers who are putting their effort on the farms to double or triple their yield. So I must say congratulations to all of you, and I believe this wouldn't have been possible without a very, very resolute policy regime. President Muhammadu Buhari, as ascribed to by Coscharis Maduka, has put in place a very, very determined, focused economic policy, which is held by the mantra, let us grow what we eat and eat what we grow. And this has led to an explosion of investment in agriculture. This commissioning that we are witnessing today is being held in a number of states, which demonstrate what Nigerians can do with the right policy. Today, the federal government has even supported measures to reduce smuggling of otherwise rice that many years old, rice that is not healthy for our populace, by closing the borders temporarily in order to tell everyone that we mean business. Furthermore, the Central Bank of Governor of Nigeria, somebody described him as somebody who provided money. And Godwin Emefiele provided more than money, because he really put his heart into this Nigerian dream that we can produce what we eat in order to create employment for our people, in order to boost our prosperity, and to show our ability. So I must also congratulate him and thank him. And I believe with what we are seeing, many more will be coming. Let us remind ourselves that around the world, about 700 million metric tons of rice are being produced. And Nigeria is still under 20 million. There's nothing that stops Nigeria from aiming to produce at least 50 million metric tons of rice. Biologically, rice is a grass. It grows almost everywhere. All the 36 states in Nigeria plus FCT can produce rice. So let's do much more of it. We have Nigerians living around the world. They can take Nigerian rice around the world so that people in the world, around the world, will be eating fresh, better rice, Nigerian rice, rather than rice in some countries which is produced with significant amount of industrial pollution that can never match our freshly produced and better and more competitive. So Coscharis should not only go to Kogi. If you move up the river to Niger, if you move further up the river to Kebbi, and my brother Willie Obiano will support him even there. With that, I congratulate all of us gathered here for really this magnificent evidence, and I congratulate President Muhammadu Buhari for yet again a demonstration and testament that Nigeria is on the march to food security. Thank you.
It is a pleasure to be here today as at the commissioning of the 120 metric tons modular rice processing facility established by Coscharis farms in collaboration with Anambra state government. The federal government of Nigeria is committed to the development of agriculture sector in order to diversify the economy and promote inclusive economic growth. You may recall that Mr. President, in his inaugural speech, reiterated his commitment to pursue policies and programs that will enable Nigeria to be self-sufficient in rice production and attain complete import substitution as soon as possible. At the center of present government strategies is the agricultural promotion policy, whose main objective is the achievement of food and nutrition security, employment and wealth generation, as well as import substitution. These are achieved through the development of agriculture as business driven by the private sector. This is the reason why the government put in place measures to develop a vibrant rice sector that attract both local and foreign investors. These measures include fostering sustainable growth, profitable collaboration, and partnership with public, private, and donor agencies. In order to attain rice self-sufficiency, to achieve import substitution, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are today celebrating the success of collaborative work between Anambra State government and Coscharis farms. Furthermore, Mr. President is vindicated with his statement that the country will be better for it while we produce what we eat and eat what we produce. I am happy to say that Nigeria is on the path of sustainable rice production with the attendant increase in employment opportunities and improved standard of living of its people. It is important to know that there is no better time than now for Nigerians to pick up interest in rice production and processing in response to the commitment of the current federal government deal for the country's attainment of rice self-sufficiency and import substitution. The government, under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, has initiated various interventions to help stimulate investment in the rice sector across the value chain and promote the consumption of Nigerian rice. These include provision of farming input and production equipment, machinery such as power tillers, rice reaper, threshers, rice transplanters, knapsack fat sprayers, moisture meters, and agrochemicals to farmers at subsidized rate. Sales of various capacity of modern rice mill with destiners, polishers, graders, separators, parboiling system, dryers, color sorters, and automatic weighing machines to interest investors nationwide in order to improve the quality of meal rice produced by our small to medium scale processors. Facilitate the establishment of integrated rice mills across the country for production of high quality rice, which can compete favorably with imported ones. Capacity building of farmers and processors on good agricultural practice in rice production. In conclusion, I wish, on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, to commend and congratulate His Excellency Chief Willie Obiano, the CEO and the management of Coscharis Farms, the entire government and good people of Anambra State for making this happen in their time. I also wish to enjoin other states and stakeholders to borrow a lead from Anambra State to engage in partnership with private sectors to further advance the rice industry for the benefit of our people and country in general. Thank you for listening and God bless.
We are here today to witness yet a new chapter in Anambra's growing narrative of excellence. What we have here today is not food processing as we know it, but possibly the most modern rice mill in Nigeria today. It is fully automated from end to end It is a fascinating showpiece of cutting-edge technology. But even more important is that this ultramodern rice mill has become the new face of Anambra's agricultural revolution. Yes, anyone who has followed our giant strides in agriculture in the past 5 years will know that what we have in Anambra State is a revolution, an agricultural revolution. We lit the fire of this revolution in May of 2015 at Inteja, in the local government area, when I flagged off our first planting season. Since then, we have changed the story of agriculture in Anambra State. We have shown in a very unforgettable way that Anambra is not only good in trade and commerce, but that we have what it takes to feed Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, looking back to when I flagged off Coscharis farm in Anambra 5 years ago, we have no idea that the little corn we were planting that day will grow into this mighty oak. Although many people might not know it, Coscharis farms played a historic role in my administration's effort to turn around Anambra into an agricultural state. As the earliest investor to answer our colonial call, Coscharis inspired many other agro-investors to see the huge opportunities in Anambra State. Today, we have the Josan Integrated Farms and Mills, Chelsea Farms, Excel Farms, Linden Farms, Eagle Farms, and many others. In truth, the entry of Coscharis Farm had immediate impact on the rice production output of Anambra State. Indeed, it is of great interest to me that Coscharis Farm contributes more than 6% of total food production in Anambra State. At the national level, Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, RIFAN, reported that rice production has increased from 5.5 million tons in 2015 to 5.8 million tons in 2017. It also reported a yearly processing capacity of 4,788 tons in 2018. I recall that when my administration began 5 years ago, our total rice production in Anambra was 80,000 metric tons. Today, our rice production output stands at 345,280,000 metric tons. Currently, we have 2,700 cooperative societies and 115,000 farmers. Out of these figures, 16,000 are registered rice farmers. These results were made possible by a strategic engagement of our farmers and our growers and the involvement of Coscharis farms, Josan farms, and other players in the rice segment of the agricultural value chain. In fact, Anambra's advantage in rice production has grown in many ways. From a single planting season a year, we have started year-round planting of rice in some locations in Anambra State. And with the increase in cultivable land, provision of agro inputs, improved mechanization and development of various rice multiplication centers, we have grown our average yield per hectare from 2.83 metric tons per hectare to 6 metric tons per hectare. As a result of our rice yield has shot up from 80,000 metric tons when we started in 2014 to 345,280 metric tons recorded in 2018. These improvements are achieved from various efforts to increase farmer participation and land utilization. Increasing our cultivable land from 67,730 hectares in 2017 to 114,131 hectares in 2021. This will lift up production from our current 345,280 metric tons to 570,655 metric tons in 2021. From our achievements in 2018, it has become clear that to meet our 3-year projections and targets, we need more cultivable land and more outgrowers. This has become even more imperative with the commissioning of this mill with an installed capacity of initial 40,000 metric tons, eventually to be 120,000 metric tons per annum. It is for this reason that we are prepared to commit 1.5 billion naira from Accelerated Agricultural Development Scheme that my good friend, the Central Bank Governor here, will approve from tomorrow when he leaves here. And the land that will help us to meet these needs. Currently, rice is mostly produced in 8 local government areas of Anambra State. There are Ayamelum, Anambra East, Anambra West, Obaru, Oka North, Orumba South, Orumba North, Ihiala, and at the rate we are going now, more local governments will join the rice belt. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, I am most delighted at Anambra's emerging comparative advantage in agriculture in just 4 years of our intense focus on this sector. It is heartwarming to see that in addition to the rice mill we are commissioning here today, Anambra has 7 other validated large rice mills. They are Josan Rice Mill Umumbo, Josan Rice Mill Ufuma, Stern Industries, all in Ayamelum, Wisdom Rice Mill, Rufian Rice Mill, Udoka Rice Mill, Control Rice Mill, and of course, Coscharis Rice Mill. All these mills have jointly changed our story in rice production and turned Anambra into an emerging capital for food processing. These 8 mills produce a total of 849 metric tons of rice per day, which translates to 16,980 bags of 50 kg rice per day, just for you to appreciate what we are saying. This in turn translates to a total of approximately 309,000 metric tons per annum, or 6,180,000 50 kg bags per annum. That is very impressive. Beyond rice, we have also expanded our coverage to animal husbandry. Linden Integrated Poultry Farms, which is situated right there, located across the road, is the largest poultry farm in the southeast and south-south of Nigeria. The farm has just completed its second phase of expansion with a new facility that holds 90,000 birds. At the same time, my administration has responded to some of the serious concerns of Nigeria by going into partnership with Eagle Farms in Umuchu for the mass rearing of Efibo, the short-term cows that are indigenous to West Africa. From the market reports we have received so far, Eagle Farms have struck gold already with the breeding of Efibo. Our people have warmed up to it and patronage is on the rise. Plans are on the way to further capitalize the farm so that it can produce more. In conclusion, we have changed the single story of Anambra State as the place where only thing that work is trade and commerce. We have made the best use of the arable land that God has given us and turned our wasteland to wealth. Anambra State has become a reference point in the agricultural sector in Nigeria today. And with the commissioning of this fully automated rice mill here today, our joy has come full cycle. God bless Anambra State. God bless Nigeria. Dialogue. Thank you, everybody.
Yes. I want to comment on what the governor said regarding the accelerated agricultural development scheme. says that we will be accessing 1.5 billion naira. And that is a program that we are putting in place to support the state governors to partition land for in their 3 zones in the state, where they will clear the land and what will come in this case you want to do more rice, or you want to do cassava, or you want to do oil palm, those are the popular ones to start with, you can do so, and then who can come in and do a popular program for you under this state. So I can assure you that the approval of 1.5 Willie is very like an Oliver Twist. Yeah, but I think that one, 1.5 billion is as good as done. And that will help to further grow the agricultural potentials of the state. Now, coming to the commissioning, honestly, I'm honored to be given the opportunity to commission this. Yes, because according to the governor, and which you all know, I've read that I participated in funding this project. But the Minister of Agriculture, Alhaji Nanono, who is represented by his Minister of State, should, representing the presidency and the president, should be the one to commission this. So I will hand over to the Minister of State. Thank you very much. For the benefit, hold the mic. For the benefit of the good people of Anambra State and Nigeria at large. For our plant, and our marbling section is outside, boiler is outside, boiler is 8 tons per hour. So in carbon, in the marbling section, first we soak the paddy, then cook the paddy, and then we dry the paddy. So this is the whole process happening outside. After that, it's ready for the milling section. Marbling process is total complete 18 hours. And I will start with the section of the milling section. So where you will see the actual finished product at the end. So let's start.
With all our hearts, we pray and ask, God bless Anambra, God bless the shining light that we give. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With our sweat and blood, every breath of our lives, with trust in God, we will lift our homeland high. We believe in togetherness.